working in a garage anywhere in the world with a good idea can put us out of business.
The pie in the face.
Any kid working in a garage anywhere in the world with a good idea can put us out of business. Any kid working in a garage anywhere in the world with a good idea can put us out of business.
Use the beard oil all the witches are talking about this Halloween. Luxurious Bastard Beard Co. Use promo code LEGENDARY for a discount. Link in description.
You are now listening to the greatest show in the universe.
Hey man, this is Tommy Chong, and right now you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, this is George Belfort, the real Wolf of Wall Street, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
The Anthony Rogers Show.
Welcome back to the greatest show that's ever existed. Today we have a legendary filmmaker, Uwe Boll. How you doing, brother?
Good. Nighttime in Germany already, but it's all perfect.
Wait, what was that?
You hear me? You hear me? Hello?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, but I
let me
hear
take
you.
off this headset.
Okay.
Now it's better, yes. Sorry, brother. You're in Germany, you said, right now?
Yes, and my dog is in deep sleep behind me, as you see in the bed behind me. I mean, I hear you perfectly. I don't know why. Your microphone is off. I see you now. Your microphone is on.
Oh, the microphone? Yeah, I had the headset on, and then like it just here. I think it's better. Should probably test this first.
Yeah.
Let me go to my phone. Hang on.
Technical problems. But I liked your opening. Maybe I do a monologue now. I'm to do the Anthony show. I like the advertising clip from before. That candle or whatever it was for Halloween. So you go with the seasons. I don't know where he is. So let's talk about my new film, First Shift. It's definitely sold now to North America, what is perfect. So in early spring, it will come to some theaters and then home video and streaming, hopefully TV, pay TV. Yeah, I don't know if somebody hears me here or where everybody is. Here you are.
Hey, now I can actually hear you, man. I like how you just went into promo, man. That was smart. You're like, check out all my movies. Like, I respect that. I respect that also, dude. That's smart.
Okay, now it works. You're in front of green screen. Perfect.
Yeah, I ruined the illusion now as I'm using my cell phone because my internet was so slow. This grounded. Like, oh god, it's annoying. But no, dude. Okay, so you made a lot of like just legendary stuff. Like, what was inspiration for like the Rampage trilogy originally? Like, what was that like? Like, what made you kind of create that originally? That's like pretty iconic, I think.
You mean for Rampage?
Yeah, just the whole idea like itself. Like, what kind of like?
I mean, when you go from the first part to the third part, I think they were spread over 10 years, and they were kind of visionary. What's going on, on the planet, and we see it now even more as we saw it during we did Rampage. That things get a little off track, offhand, and I wanted to give the world like kind of a cynical answer to all of this. Now you're black, so maybe do blackface right now to just piss everybody completely off. So I don't know where you are now behind the curtain, but that was the idea for. Here you are. You're back. That was all black. The picture.
It cut out again. Oh my god. No, I was saying like Dude, I respect a lot of your movies because like a lot of them are kind of ballsy. Like I think like I told you this a million times. Like Postal's intro was crazy, and then I think it was awesome. And then Blubberella, the concept of Blubberella is just like a fat superhero is hilarious to me.
Yeah, Brendan Fletcher is still mad that he had to do blackface in Blubberella. He's like, oh God, my career's over. But the whole canceling for blackface or whatever, it started after Blubberella was already shot, So, and I mean, I personally give a shit about all that rules and about all this kind of cancel culture. You cannot say this, you cannot say this. And I think it's kind of part of freedom that you can say whatever you want. Like if you think something is funny, even if it's insulting for somebody, who gives a shit? It's too bad. Then don't watch the comedy or don't, I mean, you do stand up and stuff. I think stand up is only funny if it's kind of insulting for half of the audience, that they feel like, that is too much for me. Then it's a good stand up. So, and I mean, we have it right now. I think it's a total shit show about the whole Israel Gaza thing, right? Everybody in US, when you put up Variety or BuzzFeed or whatever, people stepping back, right? And back, the Writers Guild, where everybody striked for 4 or 5 months, is falling apart because they don't want to put out an Israel, like a letter that Israel, whatever Israel is doing, it's perfect, it's good, they can do whatever they want. And it's this kind of like, you have to accept that a lot of people from the Arab countries see it different as we see it, maybe, or Israelis see it. There was a very hard terror attack from the Hamas, absolutely, and it's ridiculous what they pulled off, and the punishment is absolutely justified. But you cannot say to somebody, you cannot say now that the 2 million people getting displaced right now are assholes and they deserve it, because whatever, like 1 million of them are children, for example. And it's this kind of, I follow John Cusack, the actor, on Twitter, on X, right? So, and he's totally pro-Palestina in a way, and he said you cannot justify crimes with other crimes. Like it doesn't make everything great. I saw today, I think they reported that over 2,000 kids from Palestinian families are dead based on the bombing so far. So 2,000 children dead and 1,400 other people in Israel got massacred by the Hamas. So now if somebody says that children are dead, is already like a Hamas fan or what? I mean, it's just a statement of fact that there will be way more dead Palestinian people, like from Palestine, way more dead people as Israelis will be dead. So that was always the case in 40 years, when a terrorist blowed himself up in a bus in Tel Aviv, they flattened 3 big buildings in the Lebanon. So that was always this thing, like they killed 20 people, then the Israelis killing 250 people or 800 people. But the reality is also, the terrorists always starting it. The Hamas, the Hezbollah, they starting it, not the Israel people. I never saw that Israel just randomly shot people in the Lebanon without any reason. They only retaliate. And if the terrorists would stop retaliating, like doing that attacks, Israel would not kill anybody. So, and that is why my heart or my head is, of course, more on the Israel side, 100%. So because they are like more like we, and not like total Islamistic crazy heads. Yeah. So
I hope they both lose. I hope they don't both lose. I'm not interested in either of them. I hope they both just annihilate each other off the planet, and I could go back to having fun. Those news stories are terrible. It's like they're just murdering each other. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this. I'm speed it up. Just kill each other faster so I can have your land or whatever. It's like whatever, you idiots.
No,
we're so stupid, man.
I know a lot of people, they have no beef, no bad in it, right? So they give a shit. They basically say whatever. They killing each other since 50 years. So what's new?
That's outdated, man. It's just these they're both pretending to be religious and they're killing people. It's just what religion are you? I mean, satanic, obviously, but it's just, but it's just like I just don't care, man. It's like war's so fucking stupid. I'm so sick of it, man. It's like it's just like a bunch of 19-year-olds are gonna die because like for no reason, basically, and then like or more 19-year-olds or more,
No, but that is what you said with my postal opening, right? The postal opening shows this insanity. I get virgins. If I fly in a World Trade Center, I gain something out of it besides being pulverized. I mean, it's just like totally insane, basically. So
the terrorists arguing over like how many virgins they get in the next life is hilarious. That was great. I remember that. Yeah. Like on the cell phones too. Like I have like flip phones, like argue. Like let me call Osama, man. That was great, man. Like you made some great stuff, man. Like and like back to Blubberella though, man. I don't think that one gets enough credit, man. Because like a fat superhero is hilarious. Like that's just like funny as hell, man. What made you like come up with? What made you run with that idea? Because it's like was that like something you just like laughed about, thought was funny, and like made like real or like what?
I felt like that this kind of superhero films, they basically cry for parody, right? So that when you shoot something like Blood Rain, when you shoot it, you feel already it would be so much more fun to totally make fun out of it, So, and when I met Lindsay Hollister on the postal set, she played the woman in the job interview, the crazy job interview. I felt she's so funny. I wanted to bring her more in the film I'm doing. So I made that proposal with Blubberella. The bad thing is we didn't have enough shooting time because we were always shooting first the Blood Rain 3 film, and then we brought it to set and made everything absurd and funny. So we didn't have proper time to film it, but I think we got a lot out of it that it's so idiotic. For example, the scene in the concentration camp where the guy comes in and says, "It's so dark here," and he's like, and the light goes on in the whole camp, and you think like, what the fuck? But that is just my humor, where you feel like in the darkest things, who gives like. Then I think it starts to get funny. When other people, my wife always tells me how disgusting I am with my humor, right? I feel like I think it's just funny. Just wrote a scene. It's interesting. So I'm working with an animation guy. I want to do something like Family Guy style, as animation. And I wrote like a scene where a teenager tells to his father, and then they go totally in the details of it, that he went to all the internet porn, like to all of them, and he just doesn't have any options left, right? And then discussing, and then it turns out the father watched also all the videos already, and they're flipping completely out, like, what the fuck? Look at this thing, I cannot watch it. And I feel that is hilarious, because nobody would talk about YouPorn or Pornhub, like for real. And I think if you do it as an animation thing, like Family Guy style, you can get away now with way more, and you don't need all that actors who are now scared to do shit like this. If I would now do Postal 2, I wouldn't get actors. All that actors would say, "Oh, I cannot do that, my career, blah, blah, blah." And I think with animation, you always get some voices to do it, so, and then you just have voices and you do animation, and then you can go full on hardcore on the humor, totally under the belt, and I mean, reality now gives so much opportunity to fold it into pieces, with humor. And I mean, we kind of living in an absurd world where whatever Elon Musk wants to live on the Mars and stuff like this. I mean, they're all losing it. It's just totally insane what's going on. We will have like two very old presidential guys debating, always like walkers, like we have Biden, who is almost like not reacting to a question. I just saw an interview with Biden where they ask him a question, he doesn't react. It's like you think it's buffering, right? So you think it's like, what is happening to him right now? He's standing there, and the reporter says, okay, next question, whatever, So it's just like sensational. It's like in the Congress that they cannot elect anybody. I mean, they just don't. Whoever they come up with lose the vote. And they don't have, what is the name of it? The speaker, right? The speaker vote, whatever. They just don't get anybody installed they have the majority, the Republicans. They just have to vote one in, and they have the majority and have the speaker. But they cannot do it. They're completely losing their shit too, and dividing up in 150,000 different parties in the party.
That's the biggest problem with America is they're not united. Basically, it's just a bunch of people arguing over dumb shit, like rather than like fixing the economy. This is basically it's Obama's third term. I mean, Biden has no control. He's a puppet. He's a just dementia-filled puppet. Like he's like a prop at this point, really. But
who would vote for that candidates now? With not, let's say, Trump. I think Trump will run again, and he will be the candidate. But from all the other candidates, who would you vote for?
I mean, I kind of like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. right now, but I don't know how I feel in November. I'm kind of looking into him. I like that he's anti-war. I like that he's. There's a couple things I like about him. But I feel like it's just like still hiring from the same ruling class of Americans, like trying to get them to fix the problems when they're all pampered morons. Not to be rude, but I just feel like they're not necessarily the kind of like strong men we need to get us out of this. And I think that we need to I'd almost try to find a guy that wouldn't want to be president to be president. It's like everybody else is just self-promoting. It seems like
Yeah. I think Trump's attitude in regards of the Middle East was always way better as from the Democrats. He doesn't want to spend money on wars, period. And now when I see Blinken right now, he's already talking war against Iran is boiling up. What they always wanted to do. All the Democrats, with Hillary Clinton especially, want war. And the thing is like, for what? It brings nothing. It brings only senseless death and costs, and never leaves something better. It's not that the Iraq is better off now after Saddam Hussein is dead. It's like total chaos and whatever the ISIS, So it's like some territories in the world are better ruled by dictators as by whatever Democrats.
I mean, I definitely think it was better during Saddam. I think the Middle East was doing better during Saddam. I think for sure. I think it just depends, man. Like everybody says like America's bad or something like that, but like if someone else takes over, what do you just want somebody else with a different language ruling over them? So that's all that's going to happen. Like some of these countries, like Africa, the Middle East, they're just so behind the times. It's just going to be like everyone's going to be like, oh, America's exploiting this country, and like, okay, now it's China exploiting it. Is that better? It's like, it's just like there's just evil and then a bunch of people that can't defend themselves.
Yes,
half the world can't defend themselves.
I agree. I would also not. I think Trump's idea finishing the Ukraine war is very good. Like the Ukraine war is bad for everybody, including the Ukraine. And it doesn't make sense only because of bombed out shit territories in the south to continue the war. Better would be to let Putin keep some territory, and get and call it a day. But because nobody is willing. Look in the US now, they spend already $80 billion for the Ukraine. Why we should pay so much money to help Ukraine? Of course, we don't want that Ukraine is completely taken over by Russia. But on the other hand, you cannot now have an endless Vietnam, Afghanistan situation in Ukraine and spend every year $150 billion to keep it going. And it's ridiculous. It's good. I think
they're trying to do it on three fronts too. They're trying to do it like with Israel. They're trying to do it in Taiwan next, probably in Ukraine right now. And, it seems like money laundering, and it seems like a global takeover. Honestly, it seems like that BRICS union, man. Like that, I think they're coming after all of us. I think they're going after Europe. I think they're going after America. Like Australia just went cashless. Like just when all the banks are cashless there now. We're just like in some weird end times, like role play or something. It's like annoying. It's either the end of the world or like a bunch of people pretending it is, and either way, it's boring,
Yeah. No, but I think also like I don't see Russia like China. I think China is the real power, basically.
Yeah.
So let's say China takes Taiwan. What do we want to do? You cannot seriously start a war with China. It's impossible. We will lose. We will maybe not lose, but then we're all dead with nuclear bombs back and forth. It's total. That should be a no-go zone. We should try everything that China is not taking Taiwan. But on the very, very end, what we need from Taiwan are the chips, like the computer chips, basically, right? So, and if we can manufacture them somewhere else and Taiwan gets swallowed up by China, I mean, it's too bad for Taiwan, but I would not go into war for this. I would not die for fucking
over
Taiwan.
Taiwan. Yeah. I'm not fighting a war over any of these countries, man. Like, if you come to Missouri, I'll fuck you up. But if that's about it, it's like they come to my backyard.
Exactly. Yeah. We cannot mix ourselves everywhere. And we in Germany right now, we have over 1.5 million Ukrainians here, right? So they just drove over Poland. Then in Poland, they recognize they're not getting so much money as in Germany, so they come to Germany. Now they're driving here with their cars. They get like free living. They're getting money. They're getting free health care, and they're just here. And it's growing in Germany that more Germans say, I mean, what the fuck? They should go back to Ukraine and they should tell Zelensky, negotiate. Zelensky and the West was, especially Germany and US, was Blinken. They say we negotiate with Putin only after he retreated. But if he retreats, if the war is over, why you want to negotiate? Then he's gone, right? It's total bullshit. So they're lying. They want that war.
I think so too. No, I think they're wanting money.
Zelensky want the war to continue, and they always blame Putin for not negotiating. But the reality is they don't give Putin a chance to negotiate because they say he has to remove the troops first, what nobody would ever do. That is completely insane. Of course, you need to negotiate now, and you have to give Putin something. You have to say, look, that arrest warrant is gone. The sanctions are gone. But then, in exchange, we should give the Ukraine a safety. Like that we tell the Ukraine, if you sign that deal with Putin and you have peace, and Putin guarantees the peace, right? If Putin breaks that peace, the NATO is coming. And then we bomb the shit directly out of Moscow because he knows that his army is not so good, right? So, I mean, Putin knows that he barely defeats Ukraine. So how he want to defeat all of the European armies? Like he gets his ass kicked, basically, right? So, I mean, he will do peace. I think we could negotiate with Putin the deal now. But Biden has no interest in peace. I don't know. It's maybe all because they're happy to spend all the money in weapons for the Ukraine and whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it has to be money laundering. I mean, basically, like they give them a bunch of old weapons. And oh no, those are worth a lot of money. And I don't understand it fully. And I'm just man, I'm not even trying to I'm not trying to be a World War veteran. It's I'm just trying to hang out and get rich. I don't even care about any of this. I don't care about any. I mean, it's terrible what happened. I think the attack was terrible. I think how is really everything's terrible. I get it. They're all. I mean, I don't think there's any winners, man. They're all just. I mean, yeah. We have too many high powered weapons for this conflict to even go forward more than 13 minutes if everybody's involved. It's just gonna be over.
Yeah, I mean that is the thing. I mean we that for us in Europe here, it's a very direct war, not far away. You can drive with the car into the war, right? So if you want from Germany, you drive in 10 hours. You're in the middle of the war in Ukraine driving. And it's this kind of, the people are fed up. We have too much migrants here from Africa. We have too much migrants from Afghanistan. After the Afghanistan war was over, 500,000 Afghanistan people in Germany. So now we have over 1 million Ukrainian people. And it's just you don't find housing. You don't have the schools are my son's school in his classroom are 4 or 5 people. They don't speak any German. So
what the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. So, and then they don't understand the word. They're just sitting there. And you think okay, if we continue that route, even Germany then goes slowly down the drain. And it's unacceptable. I think we developed in the West wealth and technology and this kind of lifestyle, and I'm not willing to give it up for the third world, only to host them all because they're destroying everything. And have, and the worst thing is, as soon as in Germany, the Afghanistan people, they're getting dangerous, they're getting violent, turning into criminals, instead of being thankful that they're out of the shithole, basically, they are abusing the situation. And then they're not getting sent back because they say, look, on me is the death warrant from the Taliban. I want asylum because otherwise I'm dead. And then they stay here and go in the prison system and everything, and just cost thousands of euro a month, and we should never had them here in the first place. Yeah. So I mean, when we all retreated the troops from Afghanistan, the US, Germany, as soon the troops were out, they gave up. They were trained 10 years with weapons, with helicopters. They're all like the Afghanistan army was stronger as the Taliban, but they didn't want to fight. They gave up. The Taliban just marched in. Okay, now we take over. Boom. 5 minutes after the last military retreated from the West. So I think it's their own fault. If they want to fight for their freedom, they cannot just say, now we all move to West Europe and getting social welfare there, and free Netflix. So, I mean, it's ridiculous.
No, I agree, man. No, I think it's all like fighting age men and stuff. It seems like they're like planting like armies in these countries too. It's like they're all like young 20s, it just seems like there's, I don't know, it seems like a global takeover, a global power grab, and it's just like, but I think there's like a bunch of people fighting for it, man. I think there's like several countries going for it, several companies, and that's what it seems like,
Yeah.
They all want imaginary power.
So my film First Shift is sold to North America. I cannot say because there is a press release coming, but so it's sold. It will come in a few movie theaters, what is good. And the film I shot in New York in March. And so in February, March, the film will come out, and then later also like in TV and streaming. I'm very happy because it was kind of a strange situation with all the strike. Normally you would think if Hollywood is on strike, they should buy a film right away because this film is finished and ready to be shown. But it took a while because you had the feeling everybody's on strike now and nobody works anymore. Also not the acquisition people and whatever. And now it's good that it's done. And working towards the release. And then Eastern Europe is sold also, and Benelux, Turkey. So various countries coming now to buy it. Next week is the American film market in Los Angeles. And I hope we can sell basically the rest of the world there. So yeah. And then I want to shoot another film, like a more an action film about the migrant situation in Europe, but more like as an action film that you have something like The Hunt, where they come in with boats and then they're getting hunted, everything's out of control.
Dude,
yeah,
dude, that's hilarious. That would piss so many people off.
Yeah, I know. And flip completely because look, all the migrant stories are always told this kind of one-sided. They are like coming and they're eager to learn, and you have this kind of great people coming in, but I mean, we all know it's not the truth. It's like 1 out of 100 is like a usable like character. The rest just are poor people. They just want a better life and money. So and this in my film pisses off like the whole like tourist towns, like this kind of like you destroying our business with all that stuff, and then it gets totally out of control. Run is the name. I hope I shoot it in April by Italy, like on the coast in Italy where the migrants coming in. But it will be very radical. It will be a big scandal, But I feel like, what I feel is if all the filmmakers are turning into pussies, you need one guy going rogue. And I was always that guy with Rampage or Postal, where you have to show like the other side of the coin in a way. And I mean, that is the strong thing I think with Rampage, is because everything Bill Williamson says is true.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. And I think there was like a rap. I think it's like Ted Kaczynski, man. Like he wrote he was right, just his execution was wrong. Like you know what I mean. It's like he just mailed people's bombs. But I mean, technology enslaved us. He was right. Like basically.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like, and same with the Rampage. I think the narrative and philosophy is very true. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I want to see that migrant movie, bro. I can't wait to see that, dude. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, the good thing is with what I feel is art or cinema and whatever went so downhill the last 10 years that I like 1 out of 100 films now. In like 20 years ago, I liked 5 out of 10 films, you know. So, but when you see now, like, I just watched John Wick 4, right? And I liked John Wick 1 a lot. And then I as bigger John Wick got, as less I liked the films, because they turn everybody now into superheroes, like the Marvel Avengers. But John Wick is a normal guy. Keanu Reeves is a murderer or a killer guy. So, but when you see old films like Ronin or Leon the Professional with Jean Reno, whatever, like French Connection, Heat with De Niro, Pacino, they were all great action films, but they were done in a way that humans can do it. Humans could do the car driving, they could do the stunts. They were not superhumans. Now you have Mission Impossible, James Bond, Fast and the Furious. They all went into superhumans. Like Vin Diesel is a normal guy, but he falls down 25 floors on the hood of a car and walks away in Fast and the Furious, and you watch these films now and you think that, what is that? You're not Hulk or Spider-Man. You're just a fucking guy with a sports car. But now you survive everything. And that was when I watched John Wick 4. That was so pissing me off that there were shootouts where they shoot at him from 3 meters, like from really nothing, from 10 feet. He gets shot at, and nothing happens to him. But he's not dressed like my Rampage guy, like he's not like dressed like RoboCop. So, I mean, how can he be not dead?
Yeah, no, there's no realism in film. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's too much. So, yeah. It's for me too much. And with less, also James Bond, all the old James Bond with Sean Connery, there were stuff, the stunts, they were done by stuntmen. They were really done. Now it's all digital, and James Bond is like also in a way like Spider-Man meets Batman and survives everything. And I hate this kind of productions. I hate this kind of films. And the other films, the other wave of films are all political correct, like total political correct. You have in every series from Netflix or Amazon an Asian, an African, whatever, a gay person, a transvestite, whatever, or you don't get a job. Like if you don't write all of this in any show, it's over. And it's insane.
It's like globalist propaganda, basically, and like just and then they weaken it, like the men, basically. Just like, no, everybody's gay now. They don't reproduce. Like all propaganda is towards no reproduction and like dumbing everybody down. That's basically just like, oh no, don't have kids. It's stupid. Oh, don't do that. Yeah, no, be gay. Don't have kids. That's what it seems like to me. It's just globalist propaganda. It's just boring. It's like I'm just trying to get rich right now, and everybody's just like trying to act like they're gay. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like here's what I did today. I'm like, I don't care. It's like I'm just trying to get rich. It's like that's how I feel. Everybody sounds retarded, basically, and like cocky, And I'm just trying to like all right, well, I'm just trying to, I don't know, make a bunch of cool shit,
Yeah. Yeah. What was the last good film you saw? What would you say?
Great question. I mean, I like Top Gun, honestly. That new Top Gun. I like the shots in the plane and stuff. I thought that was pretty good, to be honest. It's almost like a guilty pleasure to admit that, but I do think, the shots were great. I mean, you felt like you're in that plane in the beginning. It was, like if you saw it in theaters, it's pretty good. I randomly see movies.
In Top Gun, everything was doable by real good pilots, right? So nothing in Top Gun, I think, was like what Mission Impossible is now. Mission Impossible, there are things happening, nobody would survive it, but they're surviving it. But in Top Gun, I think it was on the point that it could happen like this. So, and that made Top Gun, besides the very good acting from everybody, I think a good film. And the film was, it honored Top Gun 1. It didn't try to forget Top Gun 1. When they brought Val Kilmer back, even if he's very sick now, stuff like this, there was a heart in Top Gun. And that is what I liked in the new Top Gun. And in the heart, in a lot of other films, you don't see only You see only the dollar signs that they want to make money, but there is no more driving center in the film, and that is a kind of shit. When you watch, did you watch Reptile?
No, my mom was telling me that was good though. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, with Benicio del Toro. It's not, the thing is with Reptile, it's just a cop film, right? But it has no superheroes, and it's this kind of straightforward cop thriller where you have corruption in the police, and Benicio del Toro is always a good actor, and you have this kind of like gritty cop, darker film, and it's not like good like Seven or something like, like films like this. It's not on that level. But you're happy about films like this because they are now rare. There are not a lot of good films like this out, where you have the feeling they entertain you for 100 minutes without going totally off charts, and you think, what the fuck is this? So, yeah.
Yeah, make sure I go out there. My mom was literally telling me that was good. Well, we're doing a strip club TV show right now. I think that's gonna be pretty good. Like I hopefully get that on streaming and stuff. Worst case I can get a couple streaming things, but I think like that's gonna be good. I think like I've been working on that. I guess like I'm like not like one of the main dudes. I'm just like acting in it, so that should be good to have being a TV show. Hopefully, I'm like if it does well, if it doesn't do well, it's the same situation I'm in, So, but if it does well, hopefully.
Yeah.
But
it's good. Yeah. Important to be productive yourself, and not only watch or only be passive looking what's going on, right? I know so many people, they're just doing their job, they make some money, and they're done. And they're not digging deeper or whatever. But I want to be active. That's the reason I want to do that migrant film, right? Because I want to steer the pot. I want the public discourse. I want that people say, are you insane? You have a lynch mob, basically, like you have people that kill other people, whatever. And when I know already what I will say when the movie comes out, I will say, look, that is what will happen if we continue what we're doing now. And that you have also in Mexico with the Honduran, like in the south of US, right? So, I mean, at one point, it's over. It's you cannot have every year 1 million people coming in, like non-stop, and half of them, let's say only half of them, are not good. They don't want to work hard. They just want to use the system, or they're even criminals. So, and the percentage is too high. When we had in Berlin now, when the Hamas thing happened, in Berlin were like thousands of Arabs, thousands on the street, kill the Jews, kill the Jews, kill the Jews. Like, not like political correct, like kill the Jews, right? So, and then the Jewish community in Germany said, what's going on? Like, we cannot go out on the streets anymore. We're getting chased down the streets because, of course, in Germany are way more Muslims as Jews. And it's the same in the US, right? So, and the thing is, and the government says, we're protecting the Jews, blah, blah, blah. We go against these people. They're getting all like a lawsuit, whatever, a fine or jail terms. But we all know it's all blah, blah, blah. Because if you don't do to this night, if you don't arrest them all, how are you going to find them later? Then they go home, and next day they're doing whatever they're doing, but they don't really will track them down. They will maybe later arrest 10 people. They're getting 6 months jail term, but the other 10,000 people, they still want to kill the Jews, So, and that is the thing. And a few of them will attack Jews. They attacked already the synagogue in Berlin. They threw like Molotov cocktails, stuff like this. All this shit happens nonstop. But then we're getting mostly refugees from Muslim countries. So how are we then protecting the Jews in Germany? We don't. We're making the Jews' life in Germany unlivable if we continue taking all the refugees in from Afghanistan, from Senegal, from Somalia, from Eritrea, So, I mean, and you can do this, but you cannot keep doing this. What we basically need to do in Germany now is for 1 or 2 years a full stop of migrants, like a full stop, like taking nobody. and bringing these people who are here, bringing them to work, that they have to work or they don't get any more money, stuff like this. And who doesn't want to work has to get shipped back, no matter to what. It's not our problem if somebody says, if I go back to Afghanistan, I'm getting killed by the Taliban. Then you have to say, yeah, but what we have to do with it? I mean, to be honest, like, we are not responsible for the people in Afghanistan. If they live or die, we have no responsibility for it. Zero. So, and then especially for people, then they don't work. They drop the work. They're getting a job. They don't go. And then they go back to the government, want social welfare, right? People like this, they should work harder to stay here and not like, nah, I want my shisha and just smoke in a coffee house 24/7 a day, and then go on the street and kill and scream, kill the Jews, and then I go home. And just think like, what are we doing? Why are we allowing this?
Yeah, it's bad when the Germans have to stick up for the Jews. It's getting bad. It's like right, man. That's crazy, man.
The problem is that the Jewish population sees it. I have a lot of Jewish friends, right? And they see it straight through that the government is full of shit, that they're only telling them we protect you. Of course, they have police in front of the synagogues, whatever. They're protecting this, but they don't protect individual Jews. If you go out there and you have this kippah on, or you have like a chain on with that star, right? So whatever, you cannot do that in Germany. You get like 100% smashed into a pulp if you go out with this, that people see you're Jewish. Then they go after you, 100%. 100%. But these are not Nazis. These are all Muslims.
I know, that's why it's funny to me. It's terrible in reality, but like the concept's funny to me. I don't know why it's so funny. That's terrible, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just the concept. I don't know. That's crazy. No, that's what happened. France banned all those protests, those Palestinian protests. You're seeing a lot of Europe like kind of just be like, get the fuck out of my country, go back to your shithole, and like shut the fuck up. You're seeing a lot. I think that's a lot of what Trump was saying years ago. And I think like I don't know, we don't have the factories, we don't have the population, we don't have anything right now. So they can just shut us off, and I'm sure they know that. I'm not like giving them the idea. I think they know that. So it's like we just got to build industry back and like just be like, what are you doing here? Like, it's like, what are you doing in my front yard? Like, get out of here. It's like. Go fight the Taliban. It's in your country. Like, he's like that. That's where it's if some like terrorist group came to Missouri, they would drop them in like 10 seconds. It'd be like a 10-second battle. Everybody'd be like happy, looking for more afterwards. It'd be done. And that's what you should do in your homeland. If you're being attacked, you should defend it. But if you're not, it's like I don't have anything. I'm trying not to be poor myself. It's like I'm not gonna like support some random family, and no one else is either. It's like they're like cowards. If they didn't fight their homeland, they're cowards. To be honest, like it's like what you left.
They had the weapons. They had the training, and they even had airplanes and helicopters. What the Taliban don't. The Taliban had only machine guns, right, and drove in with the moped or Toyotas. So it's like the Taliban were not like technical equipped like the Afghanistan army. And that they just gave up. There was not even one shot fired. They gave up. And that is the insanity where I feel like the 20 years we spent trillions on the Afghanistan thing, the Europe and US, and you think, oh, that is the result that they learned in 20 years to defend their women's rights, to defend their voting rights, to defend their democracy, to defend their press, to defend their, if they're not willing, not even one of them fighting back, then our work there was completely senseless. And that shows to me that we should never help in the first place. Who gives a shit about Afghanistan, to be honest? Like, whoever gave a shit about Afghanistan? For real, like, what was the initial reason why the Afghanistan war happened? Because of Osama bin Laden. But when you don't find Osama bin Laden, why we stayed? For what? That was the initial thing. They all thought Osama bin Laden is there. Then they recognized Osama bin Laden is not there, or at least we don't find him. But now we were all there with the troops, camps, spending billions and billions. And then that idea came, let's make them democracy. And then that Karzai guy got elected. They had a parliament. Women didn't need the burqa anymore, so they could have makeup on. And it looked like, oh, now Afghanistan gets totally westernized. Yeah. So end result, it never happened. We had only the illusion that it happened, you know, because whatever, thousands of Afghanistan women are now influencers at TikTok, but the rest was still under the burqa and stayed on the not the fatwa, what is the name, the Islamic, super Islamic, the Sharia law, right? They stayed under this law the whole time. So when the Taliban came over, they didn't even have to change. They just stayed the super religious, crazy way they are. And now the Taliban ruling it. And the best is, since the Taliban ruling and disallowing women to go to school, making marriages with 10 years old, all this shit happens, but they still get money. Germany and US paying hundreds of millions in aid to the Taliban because they say we need money, the people are starving, right? And then they're giving hundreds of millions and they believe that the kids getting the food. But instead the Taliban, whatever, they keep all the money. They betray everybody. It's the same with the Hamas. The Hamas boss is a billionaire. These people have no money normally. He's a billionaire only because he stole all the aid. You know, like all the money. America is similar to Germany, is smaller as America, but these two countries are so similar. We always throw money to everybody. You know, this kind of like, Israel, yeah, we are pro-Israel. Then they attack Gaza. No, we have a disaster in Gaza. Now we have to help Gaza. You know, and yeah, and give all the money to Gaza again so that they buy more weapons when they do the next attack on Israel, like in 1 year. You know, it's totally insane. And the best satire thing I watched this week is even on YouTube. I can send you the video. They claim they have no water in the Gaza, right? We have no water. But there's a whole thing that they themselves took the pipes from the water supply and built rackets out of it. It's a whole video where you see that. When they dig them up, they cut them into pieces, fill them up, and shoot them out of the thing. And if you have WhatsApp, I can send you the video. You laugh your ass off. A whole advertising clip from the Hamas where you see it step by step. Bagger everything out. And now they say, but we don't have water. Yeah, because you made the rackets out of the water pipes, you fucking idiot. And now you have no water supply. And now you flip out on everybody else why we don't have water. The Israel assholes, we have no water. But the reality is Israel gave them water. And then they used it as rocket launchers. I mean, it is just you cannot make shit up like this. You know?
Yeah, it's so crazy. That whole thing it's crazy. It's terrifying how close we are to like global conflict with all that shit. And I just don't want anything to do with it, man. It's just like, to me, it's just like insane, man. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah. I thought we were over war. You know, I thought it was all over with. You know.
Yeah, and I think we should have a foreign policy in general where we only follow our interests and not our emotions, not our moral or whatsoever. Only our interest. So, and our interest is not to have a war with China. It's not to have a war with Russia, right? So, and we cannot play always this kind of, if you do this, we do that. No, we should forget all that language. And we should follow our financial interests. We should stop spending so much money on everybody else, you know, and we should have only controlled migration, and we should like not trying to be the world police. You know, and having so much like this kind of understanding for everybody, you know, who gives a shit? If in Middle East, everybody wants to kill each other, the Iranians, the Iraqis, they all hate each other, always want to kill everybody, right? So yeah, too bad, then do it, but not with our money. And
yeah.
And
we're funding both sides of most wars. I mean, we gave to Russia and Ukraine. We gave like Iran, which funded Hamas, then we gave Israel money too. We're funding like both sides of every war. It's just like boring. It's like man, I wish like they just stop. Like, either speed up killing each other or like don't get me involved. Like it's basically.
Yes,
Just hurry up and kill each other, so I can just like do other shit.
Yeah, and it's even so absurd with Ukraine. So Germany, of course, because we have to be moral, so big moral, it's like, so we don't buy any gas from Russia anymore. And instead, we're buying fracking gas from Qatar, from US, way more expensive, way more ship pollution, driving with the big tankers around, whatsoever. But the best is that it turned out last week that Belgium, France, Spain, Romania, and Bulgaria, in all the time of the war, still get gas from Russia. They're buying it still. France, Spain. So, and you know what Germany is doing? We buying it then for a higher price from them. So now the political parties in Germany, like the opposition, they said, yeah, are we insane? Like we had a direct pipeline from Russia, right? So, and now because we say sanctions against Russia, we're not buying anything from Russia, but then we do. We just buy it from other countries who buy it from Russia. And that is so idiotic. So idiotic. So you have, and that you have that all the time in Europe, especially with all the European countries, is this kind of like, they say they're all on the same terms, but they don't. They, you know, and that is the thing where I feel in a way betrayed from that other European countries, but I'm not feeling betrayed because I would never sanction Russia. You know, I would always say we support Ukraine 100%. Russia invaded that. I would give Ukraine money and support, but I would never stop the gas from Russia because we need the gas. You know, Germany has a heavy industry, by far the biggest in Europe, and like 2 companies in Germany alone, Bayer Leverkusen and BASF, 2 chemical giants, using more electricity as Denmark as a country. And there's only 2 factories in Germany. They're massive, with 50, 60,000 people working there. They do all the chemical stuff, what pharmacy needs, what, you know, like to make rubber, to make metal, all that shit. So we need a lot of energy. And now we are, the Green Party is ruling Germany with the Social Democrats, and the Green Party are ballooning. They think only the wind wheels at the sun reflectors will give us the electricity and power we need for the German industry, like VW, 110,000 people, BMW, Mercedes, the car industry. So here's the heavy industry in Europe. So, and it's an illusion. You cannot have this kind of companies powered with wind wheels. It's impossible. You know, you need gas, coal, oil, nuclear plants, right? So, but Germany also switched off all their nuclear plants, all of them, because we are against nuclear plants. So we cut them all off, and now we buy for way too much money our power from everybody else, you know. But that makes the industry suffer. The prices go up and up. You have, you know, like the companies say, why we manufacture in Germany? It's way too expensive now, you know. So that is the biggest problem we have in Germany right now. And and I think we should never cut the gas from Putin. Yes, he has I mean, we're also not helping Ukraine in destroying ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
You know? I mean, what's the point? We cannot support Ukraine and destroying ourselves in having too high prices now to keep the industry going. So it's just not clever at all, and I'm very mad about it because it's just so idiotic what the government is doing that you feel this kind of like, how can they not see that? You know, how can they not see the mistake what we're doing? Putin sells his shit no matter what, because if Europe doesn't buy it, China buys it. Oil, gas, you know, you've always find buyers for oil and gas, you know.
No, you're definitely right. And I think that's why the UK got out of the European Union. I think like you and them were carrying it basically, and then I think then like, I mean, you guys are even stronger than you're probably, Germany's probably stronger than the UK was, and they got out because of that whole thing, like just carrying the rest of those countries, man. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just crazy, man.
I know, but UK in a way they don't have so high industry, like so much industry. It's not so much cars coming out of UK or products in general, but they have the advantage in a way to be an island. It's easier. If you're Germany, like we have borders to everybody, like Poland, Czech Republic, Austria, Luxembourg, Holland, Denmark. We have borders. We're in the middle of Europe, the biggest country. So how we want to get out of the EU? How we want to do this? It's basically if we go out of the EU, there is no EU. It's like the end of the EU.
Definitely.
So,
no, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, no, I saw a comment saying about Rumble. This show's also on Rumble too. If you're watching this, it's on there. But do you want to throw out any like promo or anything before we get out here, man? Like, or any kind of thing like
that? Go on YouTube, check out First Shift trailer. Like you see the trailer from the film, and I'm coming back to you, and we'll promote the stuff when the movie really comes out. And we stay in contact. I will keep you in loop with the progress of the migrant film Run. And hopefully I can do it. And it's, what the interesting is, a guy told me today, another producer, he said to me, you know what, it is this, 80% of the people will love Run. But the other 20% are all the people who buy movies, who send movies, who air movies. He said everybody in the industry will do everything that nobody watches that film. But 80% of the people would watch that film and would agree with the film that if we continue that route, it will get bloody. So.
Sure.
Yeah,
dude, I totally agree. And like, I would go to Italy to be in that movie myself if that movie happens. I will fly there myself because that is hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's hilarious, man. That concept is ballsy and crazy, and I love it. I mean, to be honest, like it's like I love that I love that that's even a concept right now. It's hilarious.
Okay.
But yeah, no, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. And like, I'll be back on obviously at some point. But yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, hopefully everything's going well, man.
Thank you. Stay healthy, and then we talk soon. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Bye.
And thank you all for watching. I saw one of the last comments that somebody tell you was asking actually be in one of those films. I'm in Rampage 3 actually. Yeah, I play an FBI agent and a SWAT guy in that movie. But yeah, no, it was what's up?
It was 2.
It was 3.
No, Rampage 2, President Death.
Rampage 2. Rampage 3.
No, it was 2.
The second one's Capital Punishment.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
So it was Capital Punishment. But no, I love Uwe Boll's trilogies. Like Rampage and like his other movies are great. Blubberella is hilarious. Like Assault on Wall Street. Check out a lot of his stuff. He has, like I said, Night Shift is his new project. You can watch the trailer for it, you said. I'm going to go check a lot of that out. I haven't seen the trailer for that yet either. And thanks for watching. I appreciate you all watching.